Hi everyone, so in this video we're going to go through the drill down donut visual and some of the key aspects that we want you to know about prior to starting to work with the visual. The donut visual itself is meant for categorical data exploration, but we added a couple of features on top of it to make your life easier. For example, on-chart interactions, different visual clues, and a few more formatting options that we think are going to help you out on everyday usage of the donut visual. So the things that we are going to cover are in the initial setup, formatting options, and some of the key features that the visual has. So let's start off with the initial setup. So first we go to a new page. We add an instance of the donut visual. So the first thing you're going to notice here is that we have two types of fields available for the drill down donut visual. One of them is the category, the other one is the value. So the category field defines the categories and subcategories which are going to be visualized within this, and value is going to be a numerical series which you're going to be aggregating everything by. So what I'm going to do now is add in different categories. So I'm going to go for region, department, title, and I want to aggregate everything by the payouts. All right, here you go. The first instance of the drill down donut visual has been created. Now, in the category field, one thing I wanted to point out here is that the order on how you add the columns in the category field is also going to be defining the hierarchy levels. Now, since we covered the basics on how to create a visual, the next thing we're going to cover are the interactions. So for that, let's go for a different page and let's go quickly through every single one of them. So to start off, we're going to go through the most important ones. So in order to drill down into one of these slices, all you have to do is just simply click on one of them. Now, in order to go back, all you have to do is simply click on the middle part of the donut visual and it takes you one step up in the hierarchy. Now, the next group of interactions is going to be selection. So we can select a single slice or multiple slices at the same time. In order to do a single selection, all you have to do is just long press on one of the slices. And if you want to combine and select another slice, all you have to do is just simply hold down the Control key and click on the additional slice that you want to select there. So what this sort of selection actually allows you to do is to select slices without drilling down to the next level of information. And additionally, all drill downs and selections filter out the information on the rest of the report page. So the donut visual is a great tool to actually use as a filter for the report page. Afterwards, once we're done with the selections, what we can do is click outside the visual and that's going to clear all the selections that we made previously. Now the last interaction that the donut visual has is the interactive others slice. So if we click on the others, you can see that it opens up the next group of contributors in the donut visual. But we're going to talk about the others in the previous slice a bit later. And that's it. We have covered all the interaction options that the visual has currently available. Now the next thing we're going to focus on is going to be the visual clues, the others in previous slice, and some of the main formatting options that the visual has. So first things first, let's go to the visual clues. And what I'm going to do here is take the visual and put it in a focus mode so it's just easier for you to see. Alright, so the first visual clue that you see happening here on the donut visual is already visible. So it's this inner white line that's going throughout the visual. And if you see a donut visual with an inner white line, what it indicates is that this visual has a drill down level available. So for example, you can see in the category list I have 4 levels. Now if I go to the second level, I still have the line, third one the same. If I go down to the last one, you can see that this inner white line disappears. So this indicates that this is the last level of the drill down available for this visual. Now, the other thing that's happening in the background is actually the inner part of the visual here. So that the inner circle, what it does is it creates highlighted selections of each of the categories that you previously selected. So this helps you to understand which level of the drill down are you actually on right now. And also, if you hover over the middle part, you can see that it showcases me the name and the values for the previously selected categories. Now, after the visual clues, the next thing we're going to be focusing on is going to be the others in the previous slice. So both of these slices were added with the intention of helping you limit the amount of information that you want to showcase to your users and also give you a way on how to get rid of all the small slices that you have there within the donut visual. Both of these slices are actually being controlled through the formatting options. So let's open that up. Let's go here on the donut visual, scroll down a little bit. The two main settings that you need to pay attention to is this toggle for enable others and the number of slices. So what you can do with these two is you can set the number of slices that you want to see within the donut visual, and the rest of them are going to be combined into groups by those numbers that you set in the formatting tab. So for example, what I'm going to do here now is set the number to be at 3. Now in the visual, you can see that I have three slices available. And once I click on the others, it's going to be opening up me the next three contributors in that donut visual. So this helps me to specifically look into group of three contributors with each slice. And the same principle applies even further on. So if I click on the others, it's going to open up me the next three contributors. And you can go backwards by clicking on the previous slice. And the last thing that I'm going to be covering is the rich customization options that this visual has to offer. So for example, I'm going to open up this page and you can see there are a couple of variations on how you create the visual. And if we go into the formatting options of the visual, so we can see that we can adjust the visual look of the donut. So we can change the inner, the outer radiuses, enable gauge modes, 3D effects, enable, disable other slices, things like that. Then we can enable or disable the legends block. Once it's enabled, you can change the position, the height, the markers, the shapes, the sizes of the markers, things like that. Afterwards, of course, we have the detail labels, so to showcase the information with the connector here, so you can adjust the font styles for the detail labels themselves, where to showcase just the value, the categories plus values, and these sort of options. Then you can adjust the tooltip settings, so either you're using our tooltip or Power BI built-in tooltip. Then we can play around with the fill color settings, so by default this is on solid fill, so it's using just a regular color. But what you can do here is, for example, choose a gradient to a derived color, and you can see that this places a little bit of a black shadow on top of it, which makes the chart stand out in the crowd a little bit more. And last but definitely not the least, we have separate tabs for each group and category list for the donut visual. So this allows you to specifically color each and every individual slice that you have there for each level of the drill downs. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and I highly encourage you to go to the app stores and try the visuals yourself. And don't forget to download the sample file, which has some variations already available for you to look into, and it also has some tips and tricks on how to use the visual.